everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the 345 podcast. The number three below me is Sherrod.
What
On the
up?
side of me is the number five. That's Smooth. And of course, the best number four right here is your boy Need for Sheed.
Okay.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the first ever episode of the 345 podcast, where you get sports, you get entertainment, you get brotherly love, you get everything that you want all in one podcast. So, for the two guests that's on here with me, recurring guests, I got my two older brothers. Like I said before, the one below me, Mr. Sherrod. Mr. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, man? Like, ready to have some fun. Like we've been going over this for months. So it's gonna be cool to be able to put it together and see what we come up with.
And that's number three, number Trey. Let's go to the side. I got the live five over there. Mr. Smooth, introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk some sports finally, ready for the new season and ready to make some episodes, man. Like it's gonna be fun.
And I'll be your host. I'll be your moderator for the most of the time. I will include my topics, include everything I feel as well. But it's your boy Need for Sheed, the four in the middle, the quad, whichever one you want to call me. I go by all names. So football season is back in effect. It's been a long summer, no basketball, no football. All we got is golf and baseball. And hey, yeah.
Tennis, shout out Coco,
Yeah, shout out to tennis. Shout out to the individual sports out there, but golf, all that. Yeah. But all right, let's get back to what we actually want to watch. I love all sports though, kind of. Anyway, so we're gonna get into the first week of football. There was a lot of football, and it started off, of course, they want to put America's team on the first game. So that's Thursday. So Thursday night football, we had the Cowboys and the Eagles, the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. What was you guys' takeaway from the first game of the season, which was on that Thursday?
Well, my takeaway is clear. Like, they could have, did a lot better. They had somebody that could get out the quarterback. Like, if they had somebody I don't know who, but they would have had somebody that could get out the quarterback, they would have been in a lot better shape than what they were in. You know what I mean? Everything else, they kind of did well. They ran the ball well. They threw well. If, CD didn't drop a couple of passes here or there, they probably would have won that game, but they could have had somebody get a quarterback. It would have been good for them.
So like for me, I kind of got like two takeaways. I think the biggest thing is the Philly part is more so like was Philly like was it just game one or are they gonna look really different this year? I know they had people out and a lot of people saying, well, give them the benefit of the doubt, which is true, but that Philly that I saw don't look like the Philly I saw last year. And then the other thing was, I remember sitting up and I was like, man, Cowboys didn't look as bad as I thought they were going to look. They actually looked pretty good, which was something I never thought I'd say out loud. Now, again, I do believe that it'll fix itself, it'll correct itself like it always does. But it wasn't as much of a glaring weakness or missing. I know Michael wasn't there, but I didn't feel, well, let me rephrase it this way. While it didn't feel like in the game there was a significant difference in like what the outcome came out to be. I guess some of those Jalen runs could have been negated by somebody in the middle, but it just kind of felt like maybe Philly isn't as good as we thought they were, or maybe Dallas is a little bit better than what we thought they were, or maybe it's week one. Like we saw some spooky stuff this week. And then so some of the teams that we thought were gonna be really good, like look real bad week one, and some of the teams that we expected to look terrible look better. So I don't know. Maybe it's week one. Maybe, it's part of the opponents that you play, but I think like overall, I don't really know yet. Like, it's one game, it's 1 week, anybody can be beat on any given Sunday. So like it's just kind of depending on what's going on. But I just hope that like Cowboys don't look as good as they did on Thursday night.
Yeah, there's a lot of spooky situations over there. We're gonna get into those spooky situations a little bit later. Um, like I said, Cowboys play better than what was expected. Philadelphia losing Jalen Carter because he lost himself. We're just gonna say that. He lost himself. Everybody seen the video. You can't do that. Coming out today that he was supposed to get suspended, but what happened was they just took the first game since he didn't play. That counted as his suspension. So
I ain't got the news yet.
so yeah, that news came out. So basically, that first game since he didn't play, they counted that as his suspension. So he's probably
That's
going to play
crazy.
this week against
Wow.
Kansas City. I think he still got like a $57,000 fine, another fine too. But they just basically took
They
his
don't
first
want to lose.
week.
Don't want
I've
to lose.
never seen a retroactive
Yeah,
suspension.
so they just took his first game check, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's that. So
I mean,
most likely he probably play against Kansas City.
probably was
Speaking
a
of
different.
Kansas City, moving on to that game, Kansas City, the defending AFC champions, played the LA Chargers. I was about to say San Diego because I'm missing that way. For the people that out there that don't know, I am a Chargers fan, so I was very happy that we decided to win this game
Unbiased.
because a lot of times we'll be in this game, play Kansas City great the first 3 quarters every year, and then the fourth quarter we collapse every year. Finally, we was able to get one win. Justin Herbert looked like the quarterback that everybody praised him to be. He finally closed the game for us. Everything looked fine and well. Kansas City don't look as unbeatable as they was in the last past years. Eventually, the losing all those offensive linemen, you can't keep replacing receivers like that. Your receiver stay hurt. Travis Kelce is definitely on his last leg because he looks slower than ever at this point. So he's definitely a possession receiver right now. So shout out to the Chargers for getting that win, being 1-0 in the division. Ironically, this is the first time in probably the last 12 years that Kansas City is at the bottom of the division. They are 0-1. They're the only one that lost this weekend. So kudos to that. What was you guys' takeaways from the Kansas City Chargers game?
For me, I can't remember if it's the stat is correct or not, but like I thought that the last few years or whatever, that Kansas City was undefeated in September. It's like the first time and like
Seemed
they
like it.
lost in September in general. But honestly, I mean, it's weird because I think about it the same way. Like last year, the year before last, last couple, I think the Bills beat Kansas City at the beginning of the season. All they didn't see them in the AFC Championship game is a whole different thing. So like, I won't harp on it too much until I see somebody beat Kansas City in the AFC in the playoffs. Then I'll be like, y'all the new big dogs. But like Jim Harbaugh got the boys ready. Of course, that's what I expect. He's good at keying in on interdivisional rivalries or whatever. So like that's what I expect from him. But I gotta see this like week 10, week 12, week 13 to see like where everything even out. And yeah, I think them having an injury earlier also hurt their wide receiving core. And Travis still looked, pretty, good on their touchdown run. So I mean, I think he's still just
I
gonna
mean,
be
he was
decent
like
for the
he
team.
was like 15
But
yards wide open.
yeah. But
Like
like
was nobody by him.
they
He
have to
walked
work.
into the end zone.
Their number one issue has to be the wide receiving core. Like it has to be that because
Offensive line
they're
too.
not explosive anymore. And even you can do the dunk and short passes or whatever, but you got to get the ball downfield, and that's Kansas City problem. If they can figure that out, because right now Mahomes is pigeonholed, like, and once he's able to like get it to receivers that actually can, get people or get off of defenders, break tackles, and all that, then I mean that's the main issue. They can't score. They can't move the ball down the field fast enough, and that's kind of the issue. So I think they'll figure that out. I don't know if they got to make some trades or whatever to figure that out. But this season, if it's not this season, I figure like they'll figure it out in the future.
So like for me, week one, and like no offense to the Chargers, like, but
Same.
I need to see them do that all year, right? They look great. Now I will say this: a couple of like and I'm trying to jump ahead. Key takeaways is like the Cowboys look better than I thought they would, and the Chargers look better than I thought they would, right? And so now some of that is the fact that Rashid Rice not there, Xavier Worthy got hurt at the beginning of the game, so you couldn't stretch the field. Travis is old, it's just what it is. But like it still was a ball game for the majority of the game. Like it got a little spooky a little later toward the end of the game, but you saw them kind of going back. Like I saw, was it 50 seconds when Kansas City got the ball back, and then didn't have like and still was able to get on the field, like get a field goal, like
At the end of the second
yeah,
quarter.
like with no timeout, right? Like then they did all
Yeah,
that. They
not
did the
yeah,
fire drill because I kept hearing that the fire drill, and they got
yeah,
everybody
because
out there on
theoretically
the
you're
field.
supposed to they time it in practice. You're supposed to be able to get your field goal unit on the team within 18 seconds. You're supposed to be able to swap everything out
Swap
within
everybody.
18 seconds. They had 28.
So like I mean, when you think about it, like that game could have went real left real quick. And so
Yeah.
like even with all that, so like I just looked at it like it's week one. Again, like I'm not saying so I don't want to start the show one getting killed in the comments. Like I'm not comparing Tom and Patrick. We're not doing that today. But what I'm saying is of the quarterbacks that are playing today, he's the boogeyman. So until I see him look terrible all year and in the playoffs and losing that other stuff, I put the Chiefs in the bucket. I ain't really concerned about. Come talk to me week 10 and we'll talk about that from there. Now, as far as the Chargers,
they're terrible then.
Yeah, we'll know. But the Chargers, what I will say is whether you are or are not that team, to your easiest path to the playoffs is winning your division. So if you think about it and you look at your division and if you feel like you're the second best team in the division, right? Then that means that the only people that you have to worry about is the team that you've already beat once. And as long as you don't get blown out in the split, if the records are comparable, you're gonna get the division. So like you just had to put yourself in a situation where at the end of the year, if we got a game or two to win to get in because of the division, that's where you want to be. And you don't want to have lost week 1 to a Chiefs team that would have still come in and would have had not had Rashid and then would have also lost Xavier Worthy. You don't want to lose that game. So like the Chargers did what they were supposed to do.
Right. I got two things. Like one, I know for a fact Kansas City, if they face the Chargers somewhere in the playoffs, they're not scared of the Chargers.
Correct.
Like, it's not like we fear these people. One. And two, has Jim Harbaugh built this team to beat Kansas City, but maybe not anyone else in the AFC? Because because if they face the Ravens or the Bills in the first round or second round, like, are you prepared to beat them, or did you just build this team specifically to make sure you beat Mahomes? And like that's a whole totally different thing because Mahomes is trying to beat everybody. So like, if you built to beat me, that only works if we match up. Because if you don't get to me, then that's a whole different.
It feels a lot like I think it's two situations, these basketball situations. But like when Houston built their team to beat Golden State, and even if they would have beat Golden State, I still don't know if they beat everybody else. In the same way with like I think it was Minnesota when they was like, Minnesota was built to beat Denver. And I was like, yeah, they was built to beat Denver, but they weren't built to beat anybody else. So like once you beat Denver, unless you play Denver in the conference finals, you're gonna have to play somebody else.
Right. So you can't build your team just specifically for one other team,
Correct.
Unless you just face inferior competition outside
the whole time. So like it is one of those things that like, yes, I do think Philly felt like there were things when they played Kansas City they could exploit, and they made sure their team was tailored toward that. But they also made sure that anybody else that they played too, they could beat them. And like you have to make sure.
And I also know from being an Ohio State fan, experience of Jim Harbaugh specifically building his team to beat you. So I know how that feels. So I'm like, is he doing it again?
Well, they beat you last year without him too. So
but who won?
They beat you last year too, though. They knocked you down at the number 1 seed to the number 8 because of that. I mean, with the AFC is always going to be a gauntlet. That's just what it is because
they beat us. They ain't beat nobody else.
Most of the top 10, most of the top quarterbacks are in the AFC, so the gauntlet is always going to be running through the AFC. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of different teams. A lot of teams showed us a lot of different stuff in week 1. Just running through a couple other games. Raiders beat the Patriots. Shout out to our mom. She loved the Raiders. My dad's a Patriots fan. So
crazy.
You already know how
y'all should see
y'all should see the group message between mom, dad. They are hilarious. Cardinals and Saints, nobody cared about that really too much. Saints terrible. Dolphins, Colts, Tua got 2 more years and they're gonna cut him because they can't cut him now because that contract, because he got $100 million of dead money, so they can't cut him. Giants, Commanders, Jalen Daniels, and Russell Wilson was running for his life. Jaguars, Panthers, Jaguars did what they had to do to run that game. Bengals, Browns, they won the first game, but they did not look good.
They looked terrible.
Their offensive line still bad. It looked terrible. Buccaneers, Falcons.
I ain't mean to interrupt you. Before you go to the next, did y'all see Get Up the morning after the game?
No, I didn't.
Rex Ryan and Dan got into it because Rex said they played terrible, right?
Yeah.
And Dan was like he felt better about Cincinnati than he did before the game, and Greeny interrupted him and said, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Like whatever, because everybody was looking at him like, "Say what?" And he was basically, his point was, "You played horrible and you still won the game." And Rex was basically like, "That's the only thing you did good." Was you won the game?
Was the one the game.
Because they had, I think the stat was like they had like 10 total yards in the second half. Cincinnati could not move the ball.
They were terrible.
Like no, that offensive line is still bad. It's still really bad. Same way with the Giants and the Jaguars, all of their offensive lines are still pretty bad.
We talking about
pretty bad. Even though they said they did all that in the offseason, it's still terrible.
You talking about some of the worst organizations in the league. Like
Yeah.
it's just what they do. It's what they do. You
It's
know.
terrible. Buccaneers went on the road, beat the Falcons. The Falcons gonna end up waving their kicker because he missed a field goal and an extra point to tie everything. 49ers beat the Seahawks, but 49ers, everybody on injured reserve now. So there ain't really nothing the 49ers could do.
We could
Titans,
go out
the
there and try
Broncos,
to right.
yeah, nah, Killer's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Ayuk is not gonna be there. Brock Purdy got a shoulder injury, and Jawan Jennings got a leg. So the whole offense is still hurt outside of C-Mac, ironically. C-Mac is the one that's healthy.
He played. Did he play?
Yeah, he played.
Oh, I ain't even. You know what? I
Why
wasn't
does Christian
him to play.
McCaffrey game?
And another thing
Yeah.
to keep an eye on, Trent Williams did not look that great the first game. He's already like 37, 38, so he didn't look the greatest. So we're gonna see how that goes. The Broncos beat the Titans barely, but the Broncos have one of the best defenses, but the Titans is what it is. Bo Nix didn't look that good. The Packers curb stomped the Lions. It was not as close as it says 27-13.
Also, man,
yeah.
that game, I put that game on thinking it was about to be like a great game.
Not close.
Well, two of the Lions' offensive linemen are gone. They have two new coordinators, new offense coordinator, new defense coordinator. So they have a totally new outlook on the team. The Packers look really good. Yeah. The Texans and the Rams, that was a snooze fest, but the Rams won that one. The Texans held the Rams, even though the Rams won, the Texans defense really held them down. And then some of the games that we're going to talk a little bit more into, of course, the biggest game of the weekend was the Ravens and the Bills. 41-40, Bills beat the Rams. Everybody that saw yesterday's Monday night, the Vikings and the Bears. The Bears started out really hot, but the Vikings were able to come back and win that game. JJ McCarthy looked very, very good in the second half. First half, not so well. After that pick six, did not look too well. And also another game that was really, really good that was unexpected was the Steelers versus the Jets. That was a really good game. Aaron Rodgers returning back to the Jets. Justin Fields playing against his team from last year. So wrapping up week one, what was some of the takeaways or your favorite moments of week one?
Well, yeah, we already talked about this. My favorite moment, of course, was even though divisional rival, I got to give it to D Hop. Like I was happy to see him just on the team and be able to get some targets. But that one had to catch. I thought the game was over. I was sitting there like, yeah, it's time to wrap this up. Go ahead, wrap this up. Because by the time you throwing it into him and he making a catch like that, it's like let's go ahead, walk out. But that wasn't how the game ended. But that's my main moment. I was hyped seeing that just because I'm a fan of his. I'm not a fan of Ravens. Y'all get you straight. Still nation over here. But I was happy to see that. But it was a great game. I was just glad that the game was good all the way through till the end because it was looking like it was gonna be a blowout at first, but it was just a solid game overall.
100%. Until I figured out that was him out there, I was like, who is Lamar throwing to out here? And I thought it was just a random dude out there too. They was like, oh, that's D-Hop. I was like, I didn't know he got his number 10 back because he was been different them the last couple of years. So I didn't know he got that number back. But then I saw the one-handed grab and then it got up and I was like, oh, it's D-Hop. Never mind. I retract my statement because I was like, why are you throwing it to him in double coverage? I don't know who this is. And I figured out it was D-Hop. I was like, never mind. You do what you want. And then Derrick Henry did Derrick Henry things yesterday. He had 100 yards in the second quarter by himself. He had to say, and everybody gonna blame him. It was the fumble, everything like that. But if you guys remember the rest of the game,
it wasn't just fun. It wasn't just fun.
The Ravens had a chance to ice the game. Right. They still got the ball back.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you don't fumble, it's probably a different outcome. But
yeah. They got the ball back. They could have iced the game and not get the ball back to Josh Allen, but they couldn't do that. The Bills was able to stop him, and just because the Bills stop you, don't mean your defense can't stop him. And the Ravens defense did not do so well. But it was a great game. Lamar did everything he could to win that game. You can't blame neither quarterback. If the Bills lost, you can't blame Josh Allen. The Ravens lose.
Every outlet that we keep watching keeps saying that the Ravens' biggest enemy and biggest opponent is the Ravens.
It's themselves.
They keep beating themselves. So they're great at it. They keep beating themselves. So
and this is another topic. This is another topic that we'll probably come to later. They are comparing John Harbaugh. Is he the Doc Rivers of the NFL? Because is he living off that one championship? And every year they get these big leads, they get these big wins, and then in the fourth quarter they kind of fall. Is he the Doc Rivers of the NFL? We'll probably see.
They say he got the most double-digit, comeback losses or whatever since like the 90s. So it's like,
and Doc Rivers has the most 3-1 comebacks ever.
Right,
and they living off that one ring, that 2012 ring for
It's not a
the.
bad comp because nobody's saying Doc is a bad coach.
Yeah, they're just not saying a great one.
Yeah, like can he win? And the same kind of, John Harbaugh is a great coach, but
And he got talented teams.
yeah, so yeah, you're right. That's not a bad comp.
I feel like it almost feel like once you win, you shouldn't ever question again, can you win? Right.
Right.
But it is what have you done for me lately type of plays where you can't have won
That's the name of the game
your
for the
last
NFL.
championship when, like,
Yeah.
and then even in the championship game that you won, there was some spooky stuff going on in that game. So, like,
I
it
think
was just like,
the biggest part for him is that they keep getting deep into the playoffs, so it's kind of hard to fire the person that keep getting to second round or something. Like it's hard to fire that person. But
the Knicks just did it with Thibodeau, but that's a different story too. Let's go on into this other one. Sherrod, the Vikings and the Bears game. The Bears started out hot. They get out to a big lead. It looks like Ben Johnson's offense was coming over. It looks like, man, Caleb turned a new leaf. Everything looks like it's going well. JJ played a little bit. He was okay, a little timid in the first half through that pick six and everything, but his demeanor never changed. He bounced back in the second half and they really took it over. What was your take from the Vikings Bears game?
yeah, like we were talking earlier before we started recording it, like one of my favorite plays from the weekend was that pick six. And I was just like so I'm a basketball like head, right? I'm a basketball savant. So like I can see stuff on the basketball court that happens, like I'm sure that players see in real time, right? Football, I'm still getting better at like being able to read it completely. And I know like I don't play as much Madden, but I play a lot of college football where the coverages are dumbed down a little bit where you can start recognizing stuff. So that has helped me actually in a weird way translate it to when I watch NFL games. Yeah. And I was watching the game, he dropped back, there was a delay and he threw, and I said, that's a pick. And like before I knew it, dude was halfway down the field taking it to the end zone. And I'm like, that's why in the NFL you can't be late, you got to be early. And like it was just weird, but it's also too like it's really weird to see a player go night and day. Because sometimes you don't know if they just got hot, like, or the butterflies over it. Now, the fact that this is his first game since the national championship game, I could understand them being butterflies and also the coach staff trying to ease him in. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you this: one of them dudes was supposed to be. Well, let me rephrase it. One of them dudes was the number one pick and was supposed to be all world. The other dude, while is a highly drafted quarterback, people would say if you just do their measurables, one of them is supposed to look different than the other. But the one that you would say is supposed to look different was not J.J. McCarthy. And J.J. McCarthy looked different. Now, I'm not, look, again, I'm going to always preface this was week one. People ain't got no tape on you. You ain't played in that championship game. But we have heard for over a year that they thought he was pretty good and that Sam Darnold was going to be a bridge quarterback, even when Sam Darnold went out there and won 14 games last year.
Yep.
Like, and so, yeah, like I don't believe just Jefferson and them jumping up and down doing all that just because they won the game. They either think dude can really play or they selling it really good on camera because they seem to be like they glad that everybody got to see what they've seen. But I'm like, bro, like
to me, one of these organizations is building their quarterback for the future and building a team around the quarterback so they can be successful, and the other one Chicago. So it's kind of hard to like compare the two, but like I feel sorry because one does have a generational talent, and
it's just weird that like, okay, so this is a very bad comp, so I don't mean it by production or everything else. So I always have felt like Kyrie was kind of like he's kind of like not a loose spirit, but kind of like an open spirit, like he kind of just flows to his own beat. Caleb has a lot of that. The difference is that I believe that Kyrie takes basketball still extremely serious. And I'm not saying that Caleb doesn't, but there were like some facial expressions, some body language that kind of made it seem like, all right.
Like, unfortunately, like he's playing like he's a 10-year vet that already won. He's playing like what Aaron Rodgers did like 28.
Yeah, but and he ain't there yet.
Yeah, he ain't there yet. And that's why I compare, like you talk about Kyrie, that's who I compare Kyrie to a lot of times, Aaron Rodgers. Where like he's so good at it that it's
just seems like almost like you're bored.
Right.
Like,
and Caleb seems like he is like that, but he just hadn't had the accomplishments yet to
do it. Or at least pro compliments. Cause like he feel like, if you just look at my football resume up until I got to the pros, I feel like I'm pretty good, right? But like, you know how football is different from basketball, where the basketball, what you did before the NBA enhances your legacy.
Yeah.
football, it only enhances it if we want to talk about like
Nope. I need to
if we
come.
want to
I
talk
need you
about
to come. Yep.
huh?
I need to come
Yeah,
see.
like
I
now,
need you to come see me on the field. Nope.
yeah, now Derrick Henry, for instance, he legendary because he been running this same way since high school, right? But you rarely get players where their high school pedigree or college pedigree only comes into consideration outside of guys that are from Texas and the guys from Florida. Those things seem to come in a little bit more. But I think with Derrick Henry, he hit the like lottery in the sense that like Texas, Alabama, then when he went to Tennessee, he was such a force that even now when he with Baltimore, we're like, yeah, this dude physically might be outside of AP, might be the most physically
I mean,
imposing
he's from Florida.
running back, you know.
So he's
I
from
mean,
Florida.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
the big,
I
Florida,
mean, okay, my
Alabama.
bad. Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
the big four
Same thing,
schools.
though. Like we
He
just
just
said.
live in Dallas.
Well,
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
what it
He
is.
just live in
Yeah.
Dallas. The big four states where the top recruits come out of is Florida, Georgia, Texas, and California for football.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the
Yeah.
top four
In
states.
Pennsylvania. Well, I mean, it's probably number 5, but like
Yeah, Pennsylvania's
Yeah.
right there. Louisiana's right
When
there.
you think about
Pennsylvania,
per capita, I
Louisiana.
guess size and yeah, Louisiana pump him out like crazy.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, those are the top four that come through all of that. Like I said, the new Ben Johnson system, they spent all the money on the offensive line. Don't look like it changed
it
at
don't
all
look
because
like it.
Caleb was running for his life all yesterday as
yeah.
well. So we're gonna see how that turns out.
And it don't mean that.
Yeah, so moving it to one more game, the last game that we haven't talked about yet was the Steelers-Jets game. Aaron Rodgers returning back to New York, and Justin Fields playing against a team that gave up on him last year because they said they kind of didn't feel like he was ready for the task. Both quarterbacks came out and played an extremely great game on both sides. Aaron Rodgers had a vintage 4 touchdowns, 0 interception game. He was dotting everybody up. He was killing the defense. The Jets defense has fallen off over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
The best chance I feel like the Jets had of winning was Aaron Rodgers' first year there before he tore his Achilles, because that's what the defense was at its best. Last year, the defense wasn't that good. This year, it don't look that much better either.
True. It does.
Justin Fields, I think he's finally in a situation where the coach believes in him. They didn't believe in him in Chicago. Mike Tomlin, Justin Fields went 4-2 and he still got the job back to Russell Wilson. So it's like he felt like this is the first time that they actually want me here. They want me to play. They both played. Like I said, they both played pretty well. Aaron Rodgers let him down, got him in field goal range, did what he had to do that. Just so happened, my biggest moment of the play of the game was, of course, the Jalen Ramsey hit on Garrett Wilson at the end. Because if you look at the play, Justin Fields could have ran for the first down. He had enough space to run for the first down, but he was playing quarterback and he hit him right in the chest. But Jalen Ramsey,
so did Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey
clean,
an all-pro cornerback, and he hit him with a picture-perfect tackle that you want to show any little league. This is how you tackle a person right here. Head on the ball, wrap up, drive him to the ground. It was real simple. Jalen Ramsey he's going to play multiple positions on the defense: safety, cornerback, nickel. He's going to play all of that. It was a great game. Justin Fields showed us something that a lot of people didn't think he could do. Aaron Rodgers showed, if you give me a clean enough pocket, I can still throw the ball. Now, Aaron Rodgers is 41, and this is in September. Let's see what he looked like in Cincinnati. Let's see what he looked like in Cincinnati in December. Let's see what he looked like in Baltimore in December when it's -10 degrees outside. Can you still throw the ball like that?
Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Mike. I'm gonna get mine out because he's a Steelers fan and he gonna go for a minute. So essentially, I think it was a great game. Again, week 1, but I felt like out of all the teams that played each other this weekend, both quarterbacks being swapped, both teams saying I'm not losing to that other team. So like it was a really good game, and you can see what competition can bring the best of you out. So I thought both of them played well. I thought it was a much better game than I anticipated. I will also say, too, even though Jalen Ramsey made that play, now you see players on teams, it just look ugly. When I looked up and I was like, I forgot Jalen Ramsey on the Steelers. It just looked ugly. Like, it don't look like, it's not that I don't think he's a Steelers type of player. It just looked ugly. Like, and I was just like, ugh. But then
most people forget this is Jalen Ramsey's 14.
No, I get it. But even in them other teams, the jersey just look right. This Steelers uniform just look ugly. Like it do, and not the colors or anything like about the Steelers, but it's just like sometimes you see players in certain places, and you be like when you see Hakeem and like you
In
like
Toronto
why you
jersey.
yeah, like that's it just look ugly. And I
Patrick
know it
Ewing
ain't to
in
the
the
same
Magic
degree, but it's
jersey.
just like
Yeah, Pat Ewing in the Magic jersey. It wasn't
yeah,
good.
you
Yeah.
just said it just look ugly. So when I saw Jalen, I said, yeah, that just look ugly.
I ain't like
Like
him in the Dolphins jersey, to be honest.
I mean, I'm with you. Especially like on the trash defense that they had. Like,
yeah, but it just I was like, ugh,
me,
Jalen.
me though, like especially in his older age now, slightly older age, even though he's still a top cornerback in my opinion. I think it works best for our franchise. You know, like now he's like maybe if you didn't think about it early on in his career,
He's a
now for
specialist.
sure he's turned into a Steelers type of player now. You know what I mean? So a lot grittier. He's
He
still
always have been a hitter.
He's
Yeah.
still big and he's still hitting. That's what we always want on defense. No matter where you put him on the field, he'll hit somebody. So I mean, I think that's all we really ever want. Like, you know, but he's still he wanted Wilson. He wanted Garrett. Like he wanted that matchup at the end of the game. He had broke up a pass right before that. And so the fact that Justin Fields went right back to that side again is kind of disrespectful to an all-pro cornerback. You think you like I already broke up one. All right, y'all got y'all last play for it down, and you go come back over here again? Like that's disrespectful. So, I mean,
disrespectful.
Garrett Wilson also got to know too. Garrett Wilson got to also know down and distance. It's only like 30 seconds left. They guarding everything on the sideline. You got to know somebody's right here by you.
Right, and also Garrett Wilson got to go to the ball so that he avoids that.
You can't think it's gonna come to you.
Can't just like jump and try to get it and not expect for something.
Yeah, he waited on the ball to
especially
get to
like not seeing the field, knowing the dude that's on the side of the field with you.
If he takes 2 steps going and catches it and has yardage to run, Jalen can't put that hit on him the same way he's chasing him at that point. But like just trying to catch in there and pausing, you set yourself up. You know what I mean?
Jalen three years earlier, that's probably a pick. Right, because you put it out there.
He was giving space.
Like he was.
But I mean, like I said, he threw it to him. He just waited on the ball. He just waited on the ball
because our defense at the time, was trying to keep everything in front.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
Jalen said, "Oh, y'all gonna really throw it there?"
And
not throw it in a way that is exotic, where we created space. You're talking about 3 yards that I gave you.
Right.
When he threw it that way, he drove on the ball.
And Justin didn't throw it low. He didn't throw it to the chest or right here. He threw it other way. He had to kind of, lift up.
It was, by the time he caught it, was over.
He got him in the chest.
Wasn't
was just perfect on it. It was just a perfect hit.
It's somebody at the end of the game that ain't where I'm throwing.
No.
Oh, I got to move Garrett and get him out the way.
He was an open man. Like I said, Justin could have ran for it. Justin could have ran for it. He
appeared to be open.
No, he should have ran for it. But
he did. He's not to blame either way. Justin Fields.
He played well. Both of them.
But I don't. It just shows that Aaron still got something in the tank. He's probably the best, quarterback we had, since Ben retired. Like he probably is, even in his current state at an older age. I still like Russ. Don't get me wrong, but I think Aaron is a tad bit better and still got something left. I don't know how much. But and also I do feel like it's always a gauntlet in the NFC North. I mean AFC North. So like we're gonna see how he deals with everybody. But I feel like the defenses right now in our conference or in our division are not as good as they've been in the past. So I think he'll be able to like withstand a lot of that throughout the season. We'll see.
Ironically, the best defense in y'all division is Cleveland.
Right. And so at that point, though, you score a touchdown, you probably still score more than them. So, like, I mean, that's
you got Joe Flacco starting, who played for Baltimore as well. So.
Right. So, it doesn't match up. You go face, the Bengals, and they have, a solid offense, maybe, because the last game it ain't show that. But, like, if they have a solid offense, the defense ain't there. And Baltimore, I mean, there is always going to be our number one competition, but, like, they'll give you a game, in a quarter. So it's kind of hard to say. It's still up for grabs, and that's kind of my favorite thing about my team, and also the worst thing because we'll go 10-7 this year, and they'll be like, we have a wild card and be in the first round and have to play Bills first round, something like that, and get killed. And it's like I wish that we were still better than what we were because we shouldn't be this close with the Jets. In my opinion, we're an elite team. We shouldn't be, but we're not. So we always look better than what the expectations are, but we never look as good as what it takes to actually compete.
What you think you should look like.
Right. So, Aaron Rodgers might do well. He probably will still throw for, 4,000 yards maybe, or, close to it, still 28, 30 touchdowns and a handful of picks. He'll do what he do, but all we'll still be in the same position where we, 10-7, 9-8, 10-7, 11-6, something like that, and still have to face Mahomes in the first round. They'll still have to face, somebody that we still gonna be out of it, So I mean, we'll see. But I agree, that was a great game. I wasn't expecting it. I thought the defenses were playing really well at first. Like, they were playing super well, and then they came alive in the second half. Both Justin and Aaron Rodgers came alive in the second half. So I mean, I was happy that it kind of turned into a shootout in the end. But it looked like a defensive matchup at first. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. But I'm happy how it turned out.
No, you gotta look at that situation and see the hand that you dealt. And the hand that you dealt was Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers both had, top 10 quarterback games of the first week, but are they top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now? So going into that, we talked about it a little bit more. We want to talk about who are the top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now. And of course, a lot of these quarterbacks we talk about that had top 5 performances, they have top 10 performances this week, but are they top 10 in the league at this moment? So we're all gonna go through our top 10. Ironically, for the most part, our top 4s are kind of the same. Top 4 is really the same. It's just the order. I'm pretty sure all of us got Mahomes number 1. And then I'm pretty sure all of us got Burrow 4.
Yeah, I got Burrow 4.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that like not my hesitation, so I don't want to say it in that way. But like the weird thing is like when we were just talking about Lamar and Josh, right? And we were saying that you couldn't blame either quarterback for that game, right? The way I look at it, and this is probably just from the prism of a kid whose dad is a Patriots fan, and we kind of grew up with seeing Brady in moments where me and you are locking step and I got the ball, you're gonna lose. My only trepidation always with Lamar is that when there is a you or me, it's always me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I agree that like I feel like if there are other teams that they may have lost their game, but I feel like if you say, hey, like, you tell him Patrick, hey, like we up 12, you need to close the game out. Chiefs win. Like,
So
I think
you think you got Lamar for?
No, I'm saying like my hesitation when people always be like, well, because a lot of people right now have Patrick and Josh 1 and 2. So then you talk about 3 and 4. Now, some people will alternate Lamar depending on how you feel, but the last year or so, like it's been Patrick and Josh. Those have been the 2 that they've been arguing about as the top 2. And then when you get to 3, everybody does say Lamar, and then they say Joe's 4. The thing that I think is just different is just that Joe's slow starts and they're not making the playoffs put them at 4, which is fair, right? If you're gonna do it in that way. Now you can decide if you want to say quarterback, just the quarterbacks themselves, not the team and all that other stuff. But if most people can have Joe at 4 and Lamar at 3 just based on like accomplishments thus far, so that's fair. But it just always feel like you knock Joe because they don't be good enough to win, which is fair. Or they don't play up to the talent that you expect them to be able to play to. Then we had the same conversation with Lamar. We just have it 2 weeks later versus 2 weeks earlier. Now I know the playoff berth kind of weighs some of that stuff out. Like they're making the playoffs consistently. They're a top 3 seed consistently. So that is part of quarterback play. So I'm not taking that away. And if you told me hey, Lamar's 3, I ain't arguing with you. I think the thing or the narrative or the decision we have to make is which part are we evaluating, which part are we holding against them, and which part are we not holding against them? Because, like, we would say, like, we would always joke about, like, when Dad always joke about, like, that's fine, y'all made the playoff. Woo, y'all be home this week. Like, and so the thought is, like, do you get more credit? It's almost like the LeBron Jordan comparison. Like, LeBron gets more flack for losing in the finals, while Jordan doesn't get the flack for not making it. And so I always wonder, like, how do you parse between those? But I if that makes sense, like in a way of comparison, like the players.
Right. Oh, let's see the difference. Then go ahead and do your.
So who y'all number 2? We all got Mahomes 1. He's just gonna be 1 until somebody knocks him off.
Do we want to go number by number?
Yeah, we can do that. That make more sense.
Okay.
That way
we all got Mahomes 1. That's understood. Okay. Who's your number 2? We can have different lists. That's fine. But who's your personal number 2?
Lamar for me is 2.
Sherrod.
It's Josh for me.
It's Josh for me too. Who's your number 3? My number 3 is Lamar.
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh. My 4 is Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, who's y'all number 5? This is where everything switches because the top 4 is usually the same 4 every time. Who's the number 5 for y'all?
5 for me is Jalen.
Jalen.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 5 for me is Hurts.
Me too, Jalen.
Oh yeah, mine is not that. My 5 is Stafford.
I mean,
that's fine. I think that like if I saw 2 years ago Stafford, I don't know what I'm getting this year. Like I don't know what I'm getting this year.
Because if I look in the playoffs last year, Stafford was the only one that tested the
no, he worked.
The Eagles.
Yeah,
he's the only one that
I just don't know which
Green
one
Bay. They kicked Green Bay, they kicked Washington, and they kicked Kansas City. The Rams was the only one. The Rams actually had a chance to win the game at the end of the game, and Jalen Carter was. Well, I mean, he's a top 10 pick for a reason. He should have been top 3, but stupid stuff off the field, and they let him fall to Philly, which was even more stupid. But that's why I got Stafford at. I got Stafford at 5. All right, so moving on to number 6. Who's your number 6?
Jaden for me.
Jaden, okay.
I got Justin.
Herbert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Herbert at 6 too. I got Herbert at 6.
He already won more playoff games than anybody else.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I understand. No, I understand completely why Jaden.
I just think like when you look at some of the like the dude I saw on Thursday, was it Thursday? No, Friday. Like that dude,
especially with lack of expectations. You know what I mean? Yeah, they thought they would be trash last year. I'll be honest with y'all.
You talking about Jay? No, I agree. I don't disagree with that.
As long as he's anywhere in the same vicinity like he was last year,
I got to play somebody else outside the Giants because there was an easy.
Yeah, they own the Giants. It just is what it is. Okay, so that's the number. That was number 6. Who's your number 7? Stafford.
Yeah, that's my number.
Mine was Jaden.
Yours was Jalen.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Mine was Jalen Hurts. Hurts is my number 7.
Okay.
Number 8.
That one was tough for me, but
8 to 12 is kind of like 8 to 10, 8 to 12. I got like 4 or 5 people I'm picking between this.
I put Herbert there because I got more issues with everybody else. So it's kind of
less issues.
I got the least amount of issues with Herbert outside of him not being able to perform in the playoffs. But like, I got the least amount of issues with him. So like,
no, I understand. Herbert's gonna be in anybody's 5 to 10. Herbert's gonna be in that range. I feel like if we had beat Jacksonville and he lost to Houston, nobody would say nothing.
No,
the fact that we lost to Jacksonville and how we lost to Jacksonville, even though that play calling in the second half sucked, 100%. I think Harbaugh tried to prove a point this first game against the Chiefs. He let him throw the ball. He let him throw the ball the whole game, but he got a big enough arm to make every throw.
True. Yeah. No, he can. I just think that teams have been way too talented for the lack of success that they've had.
Correct. I feel like this is the best receiving core he's had. We just had some bull receiving cores the last 3 years.
They supposed to have good defenses, good running game, good everything.
Yeah, good scoring defense. Have you seen our running back? Austin Eckler is not a good runner.
Now.
I'm talking about Austin Eckler is not a good runner. It's
just an expectation of a pop that I don't feel like I can get yet.
Yeah.
But I feel like
I don't think it's all on Justin like everything's been.
But I feel like he has to carry a load like a top 5 quarterback.
I agree, and I think he has in some ways, like Mike said, he didn't miss the boat on it. Like because he's as talented as the top 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Possibly in some ways might be more depending on who you're talking to.
No, the top part ain't the issue. Nah. So I understand the old Herbert situation. This is number 8. So who's the number 8? Who you said your 8 was, Mike?
What? Oh, on the last one? Herbert was my last one. Or you talking about 7? That was 7?
Herbert, no. It's 108, isn't it?
Yeah, because Jalen was my.
No, I think I said
Jalen was my 7. Jalen was my 7.
I said Stafford was my 7. Did I say Herbert was my 8?
Okay, you said Herbert was 8.
You said Herbert.
Okay, yeah.
So y'all said what's your 8? Your 8 was Stafford. Okay.
Yes.
What was your sheet?
My 8, I got on here. I got Jaden.
Okay, you put Jaden 8. Okay.
Yeah, because I almost contemplate not even putting him in the top 10 because I was like, that's a 1 year. I gotta see more than 1 year. But the fact that he made it all the way to the NFC Championship game, I kind of can't. He got the same amount of playoff wins as some of these people that I'm about to put in.
It goes into my next pick.
So now we move into number 9. What's your number 9?
CJ is my next one because he had the same success pretty much as Jaden like the first year, but then
just split in 2 years. Just
You
split
said
into
what?
2 years. 2 playoff wins, just split into 2 years.
Right. So like,
And we on with 9. So
Yeah,
this is
9.
probably
and
he
CJ,
probably make y'all top 10.
it's just a
I got
disappointing second year, I think, for him to drop him down a little bit. But like, he still is. I think they have the potential to jump up and be good still.
Yeah.
But CJ is at my number 9.
yeah, my number 9. I got Baker actually at my number 9.
Okay,
Yeah,
I ain't mad at Baker
yeah.
either. He ain't making
Similar.
my top 10, but like
Yeah, similarly because like once you get, I guess if you want to go 7 down, like you can kind of play around with the numbers depending on who's what.
he was
Baker
11.
did Baker
11.
last year was Stafford 2 years ago. Like it kind of just moves around with that, but Tampa Bay gonna be sneaky good and a lot, and so I think that like
I agree.
the numbers may bear if he does what he's supposed to be. He might have like last year, he might have like close to MVP type numbers. And
Uh-huh.
if their record is where it needs to be, then the conversation is gonna be really different. And so like I think they win the division. And I think that like he's in that space where you say like them other quarterbacks. So if you go from, and no offense to him, but like if you go from Justin and Jaden and Matt Stafford, right? And you look at those and say, well, it's 6, 7, 8, and Baker's 9. Either two of them have a bad year and he have a great year. You're gonna be looking at him like, oh, he might be a top 7 quarterback in the league. He might be a top 6 quarterback in the league because he's young enough. He got enough weapons. So like I said, so Baker for me is coming in at 9.
Okay.
I had a couple people in this area.
That was close.
I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna stick with
You don't even believe
not because it's like this 9 through
3
12.
dudes at number 9.
9 through 12 was like for
Uh-huh.
me. No, not 9 through 12. 10 through 12 was like
Because 9, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Baker at 9. I'm gonna go with Baker at 9. And then who's your 10?
See, 10 for me was tough because like 10 through 10 through 12, 10 through 13 was like
I got a couple names on here. I'm trying to figure out what the 10
like
is.
split hairs, depend on the week. But I put Jordan Love at 10. But he was so close to Golf and Baker and Dak that like I was just like it depends on how they do this year, all of them. But like Dak surprised me week 1, of course, and Baker was consistent. And Golf, he really got to have a great team around him doing well for him to really get in the top 10 for me. But Jordan Love to me is solid. At that 10 spot, not much I can ask from him outside of just hoping they go deep into the playoffs or whatever. But he's still super young, still really talented and all that. So it was easy for me to kind of put him right there. Him and Baker were like, like right there. But I chose Jordan.
So I based mine, which is Jordan, on do I trust the other guys behind him? You know what I mean? Like, so if I put Dak up there, do I trust him? Like, I was like, the hard for me was I gonna do Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, or was I gonna look for something that might be a little bit off the cuff? But I think the Packers are gonna look pretty good. And if you believe that Philly comes back to earth, and if you believe the 49ers are gonna be hurt the first half of the year, and if you believe the Cowboys are who we think they are, like then you start to look at it and you say, well, who we looking at? Maybe Minnesota, maybe. But that's off week 1, not really knowing if JJ McCarthy is actually what we saw. If he that video game dude we saw in the second half, or if that was just the Bears just crumbled and fell through the whole game themselves. So I started looking and I was like, well, who might have the best situation that shake up out of here? And Chicago's in a weird place because they may not be good enough to win a division, or they might not be consistent enough to win a division. But they're going to be consistent enough to make it where even if you beat them, you're going to beat them 28, 21, 32, 32, 21, 32, 24, to where that they're going to be maybe not in the game, but close enough in the game where you got to keep your starters in.
Yeah.
So like for the division, they're going to muck up a lot because you got to play them, and the teams that have to play against them are going to have to at least pay attention. So therefore, like, you look at like who comes out of the division, I just feel like maybe Green Bay, because Green Bay probably got the better the better defensive player,
They probably
which
got a
probably
better
equals
overall
out there.
team. Both of them
Yeah,
probably
and then they got the better,
team.
and then they're gonna have the better offense. So
Well,
like I look at it and I say like
Detroit is too in flux right now.
they are
to me,
they are until I see half the year of them
it's either
playing with
Green
these
Bay
new
or
coordinators.
Minnesota. It's either
It ain't
Green
plug
Bay or
and play.
Minnesota. It's either Green Bay or Minnesota. Depends on if JJ play anywhere towards Sam Darnold, they could easily win this division as well this year.
Think about
I'm
the
actually,
matchups depending.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Green Bay, if they can avoid Philly, like going into like like you might be able to get somebody to knock them out first. So like you just have to see how it work out.
I'm actually gonna flip my 9 and 10. I actually gonna move. I'm gonna move Stroud to 9, and I'm gonna move Baker to 10. I got Love at 11, and I got Dak at 12. So that's where I got.
I had Baker and Golf and then Dak, but like same.
Nah, because I actually think Dak is a better quarterback than Jared Goff.
Me too.
Like,
I think
as
Dak
much
is
as I
better.
do, I just
It's crazy though. Jared Goff been farther in the last 4 years.
Dog, so you know what I mean.
And then I got Purdy right behind them. After that. But it looks like everybody's top 10. Like I said, we all got the same names, just shuffle them around a little bit. 8 through 12 is the same. 8 through 12 could be anybody. At any given day, any given time, it could be that. So for the most part, our top sevens all kind of was the same. The only one was I think Mike had Justin Herbert outside of his top 7, but he had him at 8. So it's like in a month he could be up to 7 right there. Yeah. So it's really nothing different.
If Jokey playing the way he can, like look, I'm gonna keep you where you at because you did what you're supposed to do. But like the same thing, I don't think
anybody can easily drop.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody would take nobody would necessarily take Mahomes out of your top 1, right? But I'm gonna tell you this: there's a difference between being the number 1 ranked player, so to speak, or the best player in the league, and being the player I would want, if that makes sense. Like Brady wasn't always the best, considered the number 1 quarterback. But if we had to pick the game,
no, you rather play with Peyton.
Yeah, but if you had to pick the game you want to win,
that's why like number 2. That's why I picked Lamar. Because I would rather have Lamar than Allen, but. Has Allen outplayed Lamar in a lot of games? Yeah. I would rather. It's an Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady type thing.
Like who you want and why you want him.
Right.
I want. We all know we want Brady. If I need to win a game, I'm picking Brady over everybody.
Right. But if I'm starting a franchise, I'm picking Aaron Rodgers.
Because he just looks better.
Right. So.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
So yeah, everybody. So drop y'all top 10 quarterbacks in the comments below, please. Make sure to review that. If you don't like our list, that's fine. Put your list in the comments. If you do like our list, give us a thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that. Before we get out of here, we're gonna run through this week 2 predictions real quick. Thursday night, we got the Commanders and Packers in Green Bay. Who wins that one?
That's a good one.
That's a real good one. I'm gonna go Green Bay, but that's tough.
That's real tough. I just got through saying that Green Bay defense looked good, and then like, I'm gonna go
Commanders. Guys, we need to roll.
I got you. I'm gonna go Commanders.
All right, I'm going Green Bay in this one. Patriots at Dolphins. Ooh, this game need to be blacked out.
I don't know if y'all watching that anyway.
Unfortunately, I don't never say that. I'm gonna pick the Patriots. I don't trust Miami for nothing.
I pick the Patriots right now.
Yeah. It's in Miami. I'm gonna take Miami only because it's in Miami.
Yeah, I always beat the Patriots in Miami.
They always beat the Patriots. I'm gonna take the Miami.
Me too though. But if they lose, I won't be shocked.
I'm not happy with either one of those. If it ends in a tie, I'll be happy. Rams Titans. Rams are going to Nashville.
I'm still picking Rams.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm picking the Rams too. Yeah, Titans got to show me. Rams are 5.5 point favorites right now. Jaguars at Cincinnati.
That's ugly too.
Jaguars sneakily could beat Cincinnati if they play.
But I'm gonna pick Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Cincinnati. They've been hearing all week how terrible they was. We won. But if Jacksonville win, I won't be shocked.
Another one knows where I wouldn't be surprised. So.
Me neither.
Who you got, Mike?
I said I'm choosing Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cincinnati in a close one. They 3.5 point favorites, but you get 3 points for being at home. So they really saying they only a half point better than Jacksonville. Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore is 11.5 point favorite right now.
Yeah, I don't and they pissed.
Yeah. Cleveland got a really good defense. They're gonna muck it up because it's a division game. But no, if you look at the past history, the Ravens really don't ever blow out Cleveland. They don't ever blow them out.
I mean, they're gonna bust them across their head. They just lost on national TV
a game they were supposed to win. And Derrick Henry fumble. They're gonna bust Cleveland across their head.
So that 11.5 point favorite, I take the spread on that one, but I got Baltimore too. Bills at the Jets.
Bills.
I don't know. New York play them tough every year, like
I'm
legit.
gonna pick the Jets.
Is in New York.
But it's still a home game.
I mean, both of them in New York.
Yeah, it's still a home. Is it the Jets?
Yeah, it's at the Jets.
Yeah, it's still a home game. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Jets.
I'm gonna take Buffalo. Buffalo 6.5 point favorite, even in there. So we're gonna go with that. Ooh, this game need to be blacked out too. 49ers at Saints.
I mean,
Who playing for the 49ers?
Exactly.
right.
So think about that before you make your pick.
I'm gonna pick the 49ers, but I don't feel good about it.
I'll be fun this week. I'm picking the Saints. I'm gonna pick the Saints. I'm gonna be fun.
They 4.5 point favorite. This game I'm taking. Ooh, that's nasty. I'm gonna take the 49ers just because I just don't like the Saints. I just don't.
Fair. I mean,
next game we got the Giants at the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Where is playing? What they at the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, at the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys.
I'm gonna want to pick New York, but I just don't trust that offensive line.
It depends on like if they're gonna go and put Jackson Dart there or not. Like
Jackson Dart probably play another month. He'll probably play another month. I'm gonna get Dallas. I'm gonna take Dallas. I hate picking the Cowboys, but I'm gonna pick them this week. Next week, Bears at the Lions. Man, they got 2 division games back to back. Golly.
That's tough. I'm gonna choose the Lions. I'm think they're gonna get it back, on track.
I got Chicago.
I'm gonna pick Chicago.
I want to pick Chicago, but I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna be safe.
They got Detroit 5.5, and this is Ben Johnson.
So I'm gonna be safe this time.
This Ben Johnson first game playing against his former team. This is Ben Johnson going back.
He know what they do. He had the offense.
Yeah, so they know how to defend that because they defended it every day. So we'll see how that goes. Next game, Seahawks at the Steelers.
I'm picking us. I'm picking us. That's done diddle on me. I'm gonna bet against mine.
I'm gonna pick the Steelers because I didn't watch the Seahawks week 1. And I don't want to look stupid.
The Seahawks defense look good. Offense is Sam Darnold. So
I figured that. So I'm gonna pick the Steelers.
Okay, next game we got they got Pittsburgh as 2.5 point favorite, so they barely think they're gonna cover. Next game they got the Broncos at the Colts.
Actually, this is actually a tough one.
The Colts team that showed up week 1 showed up this week.
Yeah, if they
Broncos offense did not look good.
But the Broncos defense though
is really good.
So I trust
Daniel Jones
against that defense is the question. And
the Colts got a good defense too.
I'm gonna choose the Broncos though. I'm gonna be different on this.
The Broncos too. They need to bounce back.
Well, yeah, I'm choosing them. They might not, but yeah, I'm choosing.
Yeah, I take the Broncos this game. Not really happy about it, but I'm gonna take them. Next game we got the Panthers at the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cardinals right now.
Tie.
Shit.
They got Arizona 6.5. That's ugly.
They got more weapons. They got, you know what I mean? Like, I'll take the Cardinals.
And I'm not mad. All y'all Bryce Young haters out there, I don't like y'all. Y'all see what team he dealing with.
I'm not mad at him.
I don't know. Arizona could either blow them out by 20 or lose by 10. It's like
I think they'll get Marvin Harrison involved and Trey McBride involved, and like I think they'll be solid. But I can't say the same for Carolina.
I'm taking Arizona, but barely. It's not going to be 6.5. I'm going to take it by a field goal, maybe. Next game, we got the Eagles at the Chiefs.
That's a tough one. But I'm going to take the Eagles again because I
got Philly.
Still stacked.
Until the Chiefs show me they can run the ball and do all that, I got Philly.
Yeah, I'm going to take them.
Who you guys, Rod?
That's crazy. You see, start the season 0-2.
You taking the Chiefs, Rod?
Yeah. That's for that point.
It's so hard for them. Them starting the season 0-2 would be crazy.
Now the Chiefs got a gauntlet.
When they play, it's Sunday, right?
Yeah, they play.
Can you imagine what that week would be like if they lose to the Phillies?
They gonna start talking about,
if you look at the Chiefs first, they play Buffalo. They play Buffalo. They play Detroit. They got some bad teams in there. They got some good teams in there.
But I think they'll win. Like that, you don't want to start at 0-2 going into like having to go play other teams that are really good.
All right, moving on to the Sunday night game, Atlanta at Minnesota.
Yeah, for that. I'm taking.
Minnesota.
Atlanta's actually a decent offense.
Yeah, I'm
Minnesota.
taking Minnesota though.
Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota. It's at home. JJ's first home game. I see Jefferson going over 100 for that. So we're gonna see how that one goes. And this week we have two Monday night games. First game, Buccaneers
Take
at
long.
Texans.
It's who?
Tampa Bay at Houston.
I'm actually going to take Tampa Bay. I still
I'm gonna
going to
take
take.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I still going. I mean, it could go either way on them, but I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna take Tampa Bay to take that one on the road. Houston's offensive line got to show me something because their offensive line is
Really got
horrible.
to tally these up for next week. You got to tally these up.
Yeah, we'll
Mm,
go back. I'll review them and go back through them. And last game, Chargers at the Raiders.
Taking Charlie.
Chargers.
Y'all already know what I'm taking. So we're gonna go through that one. All right, y'all. So that was week 2 predictions. Once again, this is the first episode of the 345 podcast. I enjoyed this first episode. I'm pretty sure my brothers did too. Everybody that has tuned in, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the 345 podcast on YouTube. We will have this on all of your streaming channels that you want to listen to. So it will be on Apple Music, it will be on any type of Spotify, Google Play, anything that you guys listen to will be on that. We also will have a 345 Pod TikTok page, an Instagram
Mm-hmm.
page, Facebook, all of that is coming. So you guys please stay with us throughout this whole journey. This is episode 1. So when we get to episode 10, 20, 50, we want all you guys to be here, keep spreading the love. Once again, I am the number 4 of the 345 podcast. Below is the number 3, and to my side is the number 5. Once again, our handles will be in there. Anything you guys want to say to the people before we get out of here?
No, man. I just appreciate y'all. Hoping to grow. Happy to start this podcast with my brothers. This is the first one down. Many more to go.
Long time coming. Like we've been talking about this for a while, so it's good to get the first episode out the way. With the many more. This is the first of many.
We got many more. Please check us out every Thursday at 3:45 p.m. We will be dropping the live video on YouTube. Now, the streaming might be out a little bit earlier, might be out at the same time, so you guys will be able to see that. And we also have clips cut up so you guys can stay with us bit by bit every time. Once again, it's your boy Need for Sheed. I got Cold Flow, I got Smooth. We got everybody in here today. And we'll see you guys again next week at 3:45 at the 345 podcast.
Peace.